Hello, certainly not the way we anticipated starting up in January. I'm hoping that we are virtual for this week only. If you remember before winter break, we were studying slopes of lines and parallel and perpendicular lines. And I wanted, when we came back, to actually do some graphing with the parallel lines and the perpendicular lines. Graphing does not work well with distance learning over the internet. If I'm in the room and I can give you the graph paper and work with you, it's much easier. Um, with the virtual situation, what I found last year was, some students are more able to grab graph paper at home. Other students are more capable of printing out graph paper, printing out the worksheets. Um, but there a variety of issues tended to pop up. Some students that like to just like open the document on their computer and then work on that document and graph on that document. We're having some difficulties, and so I want to save that graphing until we're back in person next week. And so I thought, well, hey, we've taken a couple weeks off without doing any math, so let's kind of rev the engine up a little bit, kind of get the rust off the gears or get the dust off the conveyor belt. And we're just going to evaluate some expressions. So we're just going to kind of get a little bit of math done today, just kind of warm up our brains and remember, oh yeah, hey, this is how we do math. So we're just going to evaluate expressions today, and I'm hoping that we're back in the classroom next week and we'll resume with the slopes and we'll do some graphing. Okay, so today we need to remember our order of operations, and there are a lot of memory devices. We've got the purple elephants merrily dance after sunset. Purple ears make dairy animals super. Parachuting emus may drop around Seattle. And the old reliable, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Some of you just remember PEMDAS. Right? You don't have a special story. You just say, hey, it's PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Okay, so let's get some things out of the way. Whoa, what is this? Holy cow, what's with all these purple dragons? Purple, energetic, magic dragons appear suddenly. Oh, it's another new one. Okay, we need some spacer dragons. Okay, so when we do the evaluating, right, there's no mystery number X, right? That's when we're solving. So there's no mystery number X, so we just go in the regular order. We're going to start out by looking inside the parentheses first. If there's anything inside the parentheses, we need to do that. Then we'll go for the exponents. The exponents are the second priority. And now this is where it gets a little bit sneaky. It's actually multiply or divide from left to right. Some students get kind of silly and they think it's always do all the multiplying first and dividing second. Nope, it's multiply or divide from left to right. And then the last step is add or subtract from left to right. Right? So it's not just the adding first and then the subtracting second. We add or we subtract from left to right. Okay, let's take a look at some examples. First example, notice that is not an X for a variable. That's an old-fashioned multiplication symbol. So I've got 3 plus 5 times 2. I don't see any parentheses. I don't see any exponents. Ooh, is there any multiplying or dividing? Yeah, I see multiplication. 5 times 2 is 10, so I have to do that first, right? 5 times 2 is 10. Now I can do the adding. 3 plus 10 is 13. And there's the answer to that example. Let's get another example up here. Ooh, very exciting. We got parentheses this time. I see a 7, and then I see parentheses, and inside the parentheses is 6 minus 2. Remember, if you don't see a symbol between like the 7 and those parentheses, that's multiplication, right? That means 7 times the answer that's inside the parentheses. Okay, so we have to do inside the parentheses first. So we will do 6 minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. And then the only other thing we have here is multiplication. That is 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. And there's an answer. We've got one more example to take a look at. 4 plus 3 squared. Okay, I don't see any parentheses. So now I move on to exponents. Now that exponent of 2 means I have to do 3 times 3. Right? Then 3 times 3 is 9. Right? That's what that little exponent of 2 told me to do. Right? 3 times 3 made 9. Now I see some addition. So 4 plus 9. That'll get us 13. And that will wrap up that example. Right? So we're just going to do some evaluation. Some please excuse my dear Aunt Sally PEMDAS stuff. Kind of get back in the swing of things. You can either email me your completed assignment, or you can submit it on Schoology. I usually don't have the Schoology set up for submission, but with distance learning, I want to give you the choice of doing whatever is easiest for you. So some students will just do their work with pencil and paper, and then they'll take a photo using like a cell phone, and they'll just send me an attachment in an email with a photo. Other students will actually just open up the document on their computer. They'll actually do their work right there on the computer. They'll save the document and then email it to me as an attachment, or just submit it through Schoology. So whatever works for you. If you want to print the worksheet out, notice I have it available both as a Word document and also as a PDF. Some students prefer to open up as a Word document. Some students prefer to do it as a PDF. So whatever works for you is going to be just fine, right? And again, I'm hoping we're back in person next week. If we're not back in person, I'm going to have to get real creative on how we can do the graphing.